4x400 meters relay, and this is going to be a tough one, but not necessarily for Jamaica. Beckford, Graham Fenton, Debian Paris, Sandy Richards. Just looking at that team, they've changed their order, but no matter. Hewitt, Freeman, Lewis and Pittman. The Australians with the Olympic champion running the second leg. The Nigerians led off by Afolabi, then to Agibi, Yusuf and Jacob. The Nigerians, then the English team of Helen Frost, led off by Helen Frost, to Helen Karagunis, to Melanie Purkiss, and to the junior Lisa Miller. What a responsibility on her shoulders, really. The Scottish team, Easton, Sinead Douglas, Susan Burnside, and Lee McConnell to anchor them home. Just waiting now for the instruction. Call them forward. Trinidad and Tobago on the outside, McKinnon, to Ashby, to Leon, and to Charles. The Australians, very, very strong in terms of their reputation, with anchored home by Jana Pittman, and Tamsyn Lewis, of course, Kathy Freeman on the second leg.
On your marks.
Lauren Hewitt, 200-meter bronze medalist in 1998. It's her first ever trip over 400 meters, we're told. Well, that is a question mark. She'll hand to Kathy Freeman. Well, we'll see how she goes. So Alison Beckford leading off. They completely changed their order. They've got two changes from the heats, the Jamaicans. Sprinkling of real talent in their team. Right on the outside, McKinnon of Trinidad and Tobago has gone off very quickly. There's not a lot in it, actually. The Australians going quite quickly in the back straight, and so are the Jamaicans. Michael Johnson, your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, I'm very surprised that the Australian team kept Kathy Freeman on second, and there's a huge question mark with Lauren Hewitt, as we see right now. She went out very strongly as a 200-meter runner would do, but that's a huge question mark because she hasn't run a 400 in 4 years, I'm being told. That puts a lot more pressure on an unfit Kathy Freeman. So that whoever's coaching this team may have a lot of questions to answer after this race is over. The Canadians are trying to put their team out in front so that they can rely on the other. But England doing a very good job right now, bringing it home. Watch who touches off first is Jamaica.
Well, Helen Frost takes it out of her well. The Jamaicans have gone down and stopped, and the champion, well, the favourites are out. Well, that's an extraordinary situation, and Kathy Freeman takes them on in the back straight. It's Australia 1, Nigeria 2, England coming across into third place now. What about that, Michael?
Well, that's unfortunate because the Jamaicans were a strong favourite. None of these teams could touch them, but they're out of the race. So let's look at this race now, because it's going to be very interesting to see if Kathy Freeman can hold off the team that's behind her, and England making a move. Kathy's not in good shape, and they're taking advantage of it right now, and they know that, and that plays into their hands, knowing that she's not in great shape.
Well, Karagunis for England has run a very good leg indeed, and she's bringing England home into the lead now to end this second leg. Karagunis to Melanie Purkiss, and Purkiss for England leads. The Australian Tamsyn Lewis in second place. The Nigerians, and that's Yusuf in third. In fourth place, the Scots, and this is going to be a good competition, this. For Scotland, it's Susan Burnside. Sinead Douglas to Burnside there with Lee McConnell to finish. They could do a bit of damage here, but the England side going well with Melanie Purkiss. It's England, Australia. And this is very, very strong. And Nigeria in third place. Scotland in fourth place. These four away. The Scot being caught now. Susan Burnside it's England versus Australia as they come in towards the last leg, and it's going to be Lisa Miller, a junior, 5th in the World Junior Championships this year, who's got the responsibility, and it's going to be Jana Pittman versus Lisa Miller, and that's going to be tough for the young English woman. We've got the champion over 400-meter hurdles versus a superb junior. It's Australia, England, Nigeria, and the Cameroons have come into 3rd place, and then Canada, and then Scotland, and Lee McConnell has got a lot of work to do, and she won't come into the medal situation now. It's between Australia and England, and Jana Pittman, such a strong 51.57 400, but she's a 400-meter hurdler. Now what can Lisa Miller do? Still a junior. Let's see what maturity she has. She's got the crowd behind her, but Pittman's so strong. Pittman versus Miller, these two, Australia versus England, and Pittman surely won't be denied now. Pittman's bringing the baton home for Australia. A little bit of a mismatch there. Pittman's so tall, so strong, and Australia are the Commonwealth champions of 400 meters, 4x4. England takes silver, Nigeria bronze, and Lee McConnell brings Scotland through to 4th place, ahead of Canada, ahead of the Cameroons, 3:25.64 the time, and that is a new Commonwealth Games record. But I have to say, Michael, what on earth happened to Jamaica? They were by far the favourite. They didn't even have to trouble themselves. They could have taken their time.
No doubt about it. They could have taken their time, but when you got so much talent, you know, sometimes you take things for granted, and you've got to be very careful on the exchanges. It's very crowded down there, especially in the second exchange when you know that runner is going to be anticipating breaking over. So that was a devastating blow to the Jamaican team. They were such favorites, and we've seen other favorites go down here. But the Australian team got very lucky with that, because I don't think that their strategy was very good. If they had been running against a Jamaican team that could get the baton around, having Lauren Hewitt on the first leg and then putting enormous pressure on Cathy Freeman, as we saw, was not a very smart thing to do, and especially considering that the England team put Helen, who ran a great leg yesterday and followed up again with the fastest split for the England team. I know they put her on there anticipating that Cathy Freeman was going to run a great race, so they put themselves in great position.
Yes, indeed, and incidentally, it's a Scottish record at 4th place. Lee McConnell brought them in very, very strongly to take 4th in the end, and it is a Scottish record by quite a margin. But certainly, Frost, 52.3. Karagounis, as Michael said, a fastest in the field at 51 seconds dead. Purkiss, Melanie Purkiss, 52. And the youngster Lisa Miller, 51.5. It was a good quartet. And, well, when you think what would have been possible, what could have been possible if there hadn't been injury. The Scottish team, Easton, 53.8. Dudgeon, 52.3. Burnside, 54.4. And McConnell, 51 dead. That was a terrific last leg, but well, Pittman took the baton. She's so strong. 400-meter hurdler. She could eventually rule the world at 400-meter hurdles, Michael. She's only 19, and she won the gold medal here with not the best technique I've seen in hurdling either.
Well, kudos to the Australian team, you know, and the coach that put Cathy Freeman on second owes it to Jana Pittman for making up for him, because she did a great job of putting them back in this race and then putting distance on the English team. Great job by those four.
Well, when you consider what the Jamaicans had on board, well, what have they lost here? But Australia, Games record, 3:25.63. They're the gold medalist. England takes silver, 3:26.73. And Nigeria, the bronze, 3:29.16. The Scottish national record, 3:31.50.
Yes, I'm here with